Aion 2 emergency broadcast. Aha, here we go. Do you guys want, oh, God, yes. Do you guys want to watch another MMO as much as we like to complain about BDO? Do you guys want to watch another MMO? Absolutely tank, like way harder than our game.
Okay, Aion 2 has been devastated in a...
Oh, he's got the AI on. Oh, this is going to be a good video. Oh, baby, it's going to be a good video. All right, so for those of you that don't know, after the Aion 2 launch yesterday went really, really well. After the Aion 2 launch yesterday went insanely well, and you can see continues to go well. They decided on day one of their brand new game to go live and publicly apologize immediately. Also, if you want another little nugget, you can see this is... Look, there's a little nuggie right next to him. That's crazy. Anyways...
In a single day, like never before. The emergency broadcast is on at 3 o'clock. And looking at Imsup Bihyung and Namjoon Hung's faces right now, it's no joke. If I were working for...
They're panicking, bro. They're in total panic mode. And I want to be clear, every other content creator, save maybe one or two, and myself, who's leading the charge on being the villain for this game, apparently, everybody's been, like, sucking Aion 2's dick off, dude. Actually sucking Aion 2's dick. I felt like I was the only creator. I even had creators react to my video yesterday. And they were all like, man, he's just being so negative. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what happens. It's because it sucks. It's literally Throne of Liberty without PvP. Do you know what Throne of Liberty looks like without PvP? It's a shit MMO, okay? Because at its baseline, Throne of Liberty is shit. The thing that makes Throne of Liberty good is the large-scale PvP systems, okay? The fact that you can fight each other. So, like, if you only have PvE systems in a even more pay-to-win game than Throne was, and to be clear, at least in Throne, you could play Throne of Liberty as a free-to-play player. You could literally play Throne as a free-to-play player. But you can't do that in Aion 2 and actually even remotely keep up with people. You could be a top 1%er in Throne and not spend a dime. Not in Aion 2. Can't do that. Just can't do that. And like, the monetization is what kills the game more than anything. If you take the monetization out of the game...
Goods_just
like,
resubscribed for 42 months.
It's a moderately okay PvE game. Again, I gave it an honest review, and like, no, I didn't get to play it. I just watched all the other people play it because I couldn't even get into the game. The launch was a disaster. Half the people couldn't even get into the game, and the people in my comments section that were coping about it, the people in my comments section that are coping about this shit game were like, "Oh my God, you couldn't get in because you're not actually in Taiwan." Newsflash: most of the people playing are not actually from Taiwan. Okay, most of the people playing are from NA and EU and the West, trying to figure out if the game's going to be good. And almost like half of them were able to get in, and half of them weren't. And we all had the same procedure: make a brand new phony Gmail account. So I made my phony Gmail account, and then we all went in a game and we gave it a phony phone number too, like a throwaway like Google phone number or like a made up phone number from one of those other countries, whatever. Okay. And we all did the same thing. Half of us got in, half of us didn't. Okay.
Another game company, I would have really...
It was a shit launch, and I'll be honest with you, the game, it could be fun for a month or two, but I guarantee you everybody just quits it almost right away, because the end game in that game is all PvE, and there's nothing, it hasn't done anything exceptional. There's no new, like, they're not like innovating the MMO genre here. It's just, we're going to run the same dungeons 7 times a day, every day, and apparently the monetization is so bad that, number one, and I've said this many times, you literally can't use the in-game auction house unless you have a subscription. And number two, and we didn't know about this one, you actually just can't PvP for longer than 30 minutes unless you pay the subscription. Not joking. Actually a thing. Actually a thing. You literally have to pay the sub, or you actually don't get to PvP for longer than 30 minutes. Can you imagine playing a game like that? Like, of course. Because bots will definitely try to PvP. True. The reason he's saying that is because bots were the excuse that the developers gave for having such strict monetization. They said, well, we feel that if we have bots, if we hide the marketplace behind a paywall, that bots won't be as prevalent in the game. And we all know that that was complete bullshit. That's just complete bullshit.
Diss them, but since I also like NC, I'm thinking about just fact-checking and moving on. But since everything that's been said now is something I said before the game came out, I feel like I can talk more, but I don't know why they keep criticizing them when they knew this would happen from the beginning. NC has already suffered huge stock price losses due to lies since Trister and Florine. They're down 16% today, so our stock investors are incredibly angry.
Yep.
But they're saying they're playing a joke again. I don't know if this will be a shield.
Aion emergency broadcast. Apologizes for being offline for 1.2 hours, like the servers. Business model. So they're apologizing for a scoundrel business model. Not joking. Their words, not mine. Okay. You shouldn't have released it in the first place. I'll take down the product. Oh boy. I sold it because of sales. I'll do all the components now. It's already too late. You've done it more than once or twice. Okay, so bugs preventing access to pre-ordered characters. Modified after. Okay, skill initiations cost 0. Okay, all right. I'll let him explain it.
Rather than strongly dissing them, I'll just check the facts. Okay, first of all, I apologized for not being able to connect for 2 hours. I was also unable to connect for 2 hours, and many people said that the right thing to do would be to just shut down the server. However, since there were already users who had played for 2 hours before me, users were already upset from the start. Secondly, they sold things they said they wouldn't sell. They said they'd fully reveal the 100% store, but when they actually opened the lid, they found packages like the business model's Full Power and Soul collaboration.
NCSoft hiding the pay to win from you? No. The only one shocked here is Kaya.
But they said they'd take them all down starting with the 430 maintenance. If they had known this would happen from the beginning, they shouldn't have. The fact that they showed the 100% store was a lie, and that's what made users even angrier. They should have never released it in the first place. But now that this has happened, they've used the expression, "I'm going to take it down." In the end, they said, "Where will the sales come from?" But it turns out they've prepared everything to generate revenue. They sold it for revenue, but honestly, they sold it for revenue. I even wondered for a moment if it would...
Oh my god, I was so nervous. I thought we were talking about Where Winds Meet. I just tuned in. Oh, thank god, it's that dog shit game. Oh, I thought I lost her for a second. Oh god. It's okay. Where Winds Meet is still okay. We're fine.
Couldn't have been better, to be honest. They've said they'll give everyone the full set of components after the inspection, including the current shins and soul cows. But I think it's already too late.
Yep.
NC is in a terrible state right now, and they're lying again, and it's not the first or second time. That's why users are getting so upset. If it had come from another game, or for example, Steam, they wouldn't have been criticized like this. It's because...
Yeah, I hammered them really hard on the personal data information too, because like on top of a pay-to-win, double subscription model, double battle pass, horrendously gated game, they also, it is free to play, but they literally force you to give you your personal... You have to give them your personal information, and they're allowed to store, collect, and sell your personal information for whatever the fuck they want. You have to agree to that to even play the game. It's like on top of milking you in every possible way, they are also doing that with your personal data too. It's like, it's cooked, man.
Because it came from NC that they're being criticized. But these lies are the biggest reason users are leaving. Yes, there was a bug that prevented pre-selected characters from connecting. If there were bugs like this and 2-hour disconnects, the company that makes Korea's #1 mmorpg would have done a maintenance. But because they conducted a non-maintenance, people were really upset about the...
Do we really want to be talking about what Nexon would do? Are we really going to say that Nexon... Isn't MapleStory the biggest Korean MMO? I could be wrong. But like, do we really want to be taking advice from those...
bugs that prevented pre-orders? I said that about the skill reset cost. This is a pun. You can exchange Kina for Q&A, and you can buy Q&A with Kina. Based on my experience playing the game while sleeping for an hour, it was extremely difficult to earn Kina.
The AI is so much more savage. The AI just makes it so much more savage. I'll be honest. After playing the game while sleeping for an hour. Oh, God, dude. Oof. Oof.
They've just reduced the skill reset cost to Eternal. Originally, they were going to sell Kina for Q&A, but the big difference is that the initial reset cost can't be done right away, and they'll make it cheaper and then change it to Eternal later. Why did they do that if they didn't know this would happen? NC is a huge company. They still have 3,000 people. I think it's a lie to say I didn't anticipate these problems later. I've been talking about these issues for 4 or 5 months before the game came out, as those who've watched my video.
This guy's based. I was the same way. I was like, dude, the monetization's gonna kill this game. And even if the monetization wasn't there, though, look at the MMO as its state. Look at the combat in the MMO. The combat is Throne and Liberty's combat. Was Throne and Liberty's combat actually like exceptionally good in any way? You're like, oh, well, it's better than Throne's combat. Only slightly. Only slightly, right? Aion 1 has better combat. Crazily enough, right? So like the gameplay of the game is suffering, right? The optimization of the game, let's be honest, it's optimized for a mobile phone. So like, and then like it's only PvE because you can only PvP for 30 minutes unless you pay the sub. And even then the PvP is like, you know, whatever. It's not even, the game doesn't revolve around PvP. So like, even if you do the PvE game modes, you're going to get tired of those really quickly. So at most, you're going to play it for 1 or 2 months before you get bored with the current dungeons or the raids or whatever. And then you'll have to wait for the next one to come out. It's not a sustainable business model for them. The MMO was just not going to be successful.
No.
Cannon was playing this shit. Cannon messaged me this morning or yesterday. He messaged me yesterday. He said, I reacted to your video. Yeah, I was a little harsh about it, but I agreed with a lot of your points. And I just want to be, you know, we're cool, whatever. And I just want to be clear. I don't mind that he reacted to my video. I encourage people to react to my videos. I said it was good that you reacted to it. I said, I'm totally fine being the villain for this game. NCSoft has done a terrible job with the launch and management of this game and the pre-launch of this game. And now they're reaping the rewards of that. It's cash grab. Yeah. It's not even a question. It's cash grab.
Then there were the consumables.
That's why I said I'm just not. It's like I had a bunch of people from Throne message me, Blue, what server are you on for Aion? I'm on Where Winds Meet. We're all on one server.
Like potion scrolls, that wouldn't even give you the cost of potions. They said regional quests would cost twice as much, so do them. Then there were the plans to nerf difficult sections of the quests.
Oh my god, they're already gonna nerf the... Dude, they're already talking about nerfing the difficulty on the questing in the game. Like, this... Do you know what's really funny about this? Do you know how you could have avoided having too difficult of quests as the game launches? Playtesting! Any amount of playtesting. Had you allowed people to playtest the game at all before it launched, you could have found this. But instead, you waited for it to launch, and now everyone is running into the same problems right away. Like, they didn't test their gameplay. Right, but like, most MMOs, it's not even just the devs that have to playtest. You need a third party, right? That's why Chrono Odyssey, as much as people harp on that, at least they did a playtest and they said, okay, our game is shit. We're going to fix all the stuff you guys told us about. We're sorry, right? Like, they playtested. Throne and Liberty playtested. They said, okay, our game is shit. We'll go back. We'll try to fix it. We're sorry, right? Even BDO had playtests. Every MMO has playtests. I don't understand how they got all the way to the door with Aion 2 and they had kept it a secret the whole time. Even at the NVIDIA like teaser where they allowed people to play for 30 minutes, they kept you in like a box, right? In like a little tent, and you had to play and no recording was allowed. You couldn't record, you could only play for 30 minutes, and it was this very specific instance thing. You couldn't play with other people. Like, what the dude? How are you expecting to playtest any of the shit is wrong with your game? It doesn't surprise me at all that you're having these issues on launch because you didn't allow people to playtest the game. There is literally no excuse for that, except if you're trying to pull the rug out from people. I expect no playtested games from someone like Logan Paul. Okay? I expect that from somebody that scams crypto. Yeah, no, you can't playtest it, but the game's going to be amazing. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You can't playtest it. Like, the only reason to not allow people to playtest your game is if you don't have confidence that the game is going to be good. And you need it, that's literally the only excuse. The only one that makes sense anyway.
They have the number of monsters in the quest. They said they were tedious to hunt, so they were halved.
I haven't tried Where Winds Meet, Where the Spin. It's the best game of the year. For MMO players, it's not even an MMO. For RPG, MMO, and just overall open world enjoy, or just like world enjoyers, and so you just play it, bro. It's free to play.
The damage of guardians and healers was too low, so they were going to increase their damage. They were going to slightly
So they're doing balance stuff too. The damage of healers and guardians is too low. God, again, this just couldn't be play tested ahead of time. What a joke. I haven't even heard people complain about the balance and where winds meet yet. People are still feeling it out. You know why? There's a play tester. Yeah.
increase the damage of monsters with enhanced skills. Some monsters have really strong skills, so they were going to nerf those. I also talked about this part, point 10. Mobile games that can't be played on mobile devices are ultimately nothing more than a means to generate revenue or make it easier to make payments. So,
True! The only thing that you can do on your mobile phone for this game is to make it easier to spend money. Holy shit, I like this guy. I like this guy.
the second official broadcast, they clearly stated that they were going to focus on mobile, but in the fourth, they said they optimized the game this year.
Yep.
Honestly, this is just a lie. Then, suddenly, they mentioned the automatic skill function in assist mode.
And there it is. And there it is. I told you guys this game is optimized. I don't care what they told you. This game is optimized for a phone. All of the Aion copers like, oh, it's optimized for PC. It's optimized for PC. Really? Then why is there an autoplay? Why are they talking about autoplay then? Is autoplay a fun PC feature? No, it's a mobile feature, right? I expect autoplay for a game that is mainly a mobile MMO, like Raven 2 or Odin Valhalla Rising. I expect autoplay on those games. Why? Because the majority of the gameplay is mobile. Duh. Obviously. Like, but Aion 2, they literally said, no, we're optimizing it for PC. And now, oh, look at that.
This is a macro. How are they going to do this?
Yeah, it sounds just like the TNL Korea beta autoplay. Exactly like that is what it sounds like.
About PC?
It sounds like they had to scrap and that's why I think, this is my tinfoil. I think that they didn't allow people to playtest because they really liked, originally Throne of Liberty was going to be this autoplay mobile / PC MMO. Sound familiar? And then people playtested it in a closed beta and they gave it a scathing review. Stoops absolutely obliterated it, right? And so they were forced to go back to the drawing board, but they didn't want to scrap what they had. So I think they took that base foundation for Throne, and yeah, although they went back to the drawing board for Throne specifically, they transitioned that to Unreal Engine 5 and made that Aion 2. And so now that same autoplay feature and everything, and that's why they didn't want to do any playtesting, because they didn't want people to know. That's why it's got so many similarities with TNL. It's just an Unreal Engine 5. That's what I feel like happened.
They say PCs are just worrying about it, but that raises issues with the fairness between PC and mobile users.
Aion 2 is the most boring shit I've ever played. Thank God I have like-minded users in my chat, bro.
This fairness issue means users could be left out again. Furthermore, with the introduction of that...
And to be clear, if you are having fun with Aion 2, more power to you. I respect it. I respect it.
...mode, there's a possibility that a huge amount of work will be put into the workshops. Next, they're going to fix things like the time-space portal issue and the mismatched custom level.
What the f***?
When using mobile skills, you just need to target them automatically. This is a macro. Simply target them and the skill will be used automatically. However, I think this could also be
Yeah.
problematic for mobile users.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're optimizing the game for mobile users. So we're optimizing the game for mobile. Yep.
Announced in the notice that they'll lift the creation restriction. They'll lift the tropics. Maintenance is at 4:30. They also said they'll quickly fix the arrow code. There was an issue where quests couldn't be completed in town mode if you didn't accept them, so they're going to change the number of quests. The motion...
Look at how many bugs they have. Guys, we're 23 bullet points in. We are 23 apologies deep. On the first day of the launch, we are 23 bullet points deep.
Motions are very awkward, especially for things like Sword Saints. The motions are very awkward, and they're going to fix these motions. There was a lot of talk about UI updates. They said they'd give all the previously mentioned rewards to those who didn't create updated characters. I also mentioned this later. I also talked about the infinite resurrection part, but I heard that you can also buy it with Kina. They said they will make a good
Well, if you can buy instant resurrection with Kina, that means you can instantly res as long as you have US dollars.
announcement after that, and that the maintenance is expected to take about an hour and a half and could be delayed even more. They apologized for the chat bug, but I don't think they anticipated this problem at all. Why? It's because they expected all of this lowly system. So,
Lowly?
they released it and thought the response would be good, but then these guys came out and the response was incredibly bad, so this unprecedented situation where they even had to do an emergency broadcast has occurred. But the quick response is good. And as someone who likes NC,
No, it's not. Look, I'll be honest. I don't hate NCSoft. I don't. I liked Throne of Liberty for their PvP systems, right? But NCSoft got a bad track record. I also like Guild Wars 2, right? Guild Wars 2 is a great game. I don't think anybody can really say that it's not. I mean, people will, right? But like, NCSoft has some good like moments of brilliance, right? I think that they can make good games. But this was not it, bro. Throne is trash. I think outside of the PvP systems, you might be right. But I think that for large-scale PvPers, and as far as scale and stuff goes, there's nothing like it in the MMO genre. As far as doing like scale PvP with a bunch of people like that, there's just nothing like it. It's got its issues, no question. But there's just nothing like it. Outside of that, though, the core gameplay loop is trash. Sucks. But, yeah, what are you going to do? Is NCSoft the dev or the publisher? Yes. In this case, they are the developers. Okay. AGS, Amazon Game Studios, is the publisher for Throne of Liberty in the West. I don't know who's publishing in Taiwan.
I think it's great that they are continuously fixing things. I think it's great that they are fixing things quickly. However,
Are they fixing things? Because there's a difference between doing an emergency broadcast and saying sorry and saying we're going to fix it and then actually fixing it. And this comes from someone who's been abused by his development team for the last 8 years in Black Desert Online. Okay? There's talk and then there's action.
I can't put up a shield because I can see this impure intention. So, I've summarized the stories that came out in this official broadcast, so I think you guys can decide whether or not to play the game more after watching this. Yes. I've also made a review video and various strategy guides, and I've predicted all the parts that have come out so far, so I'll try to play a little more.
I think the people that are most devastated are really the content creators more than anything, because like a lot of us, bro, let's be honest with you, the MMO genre has been dog. It's dog shit after dog shit after slop after slop, right? And we've been waiting for a really solid game, and a lot of the creators thought that this was the next big game for MMOs, and I'm just glad I threw my lot in with Where Winds Meet. I said, let's try not an MMO then.
I think the only way I can help NC is to play a little more and find their strengths.
I think that the only way that I can help NC is to not play the game or spend any money. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I feel.
There's a saying that a humble beginning can lead to a great ending, so I'll be watching for a while.
But this wasn't a humble beginning. This was a disaster. These were hoping, he said it himself, they were hoping that no one would say anything once it launched. They were hoping that the launch, wouldn't be this bad, or that people wouldn't notice, or that it would be, whatever. They were trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Literally, if that's exactly what they said, and I have no reason not to trust this dude, unless he's translating it wrong, then it literally it was just a rope or a rug pull. Literally just a rug pull. Look at the like ratio. I'm telling you, man, the Aion haters and the Aion enjoyers are out in force. Let me ask chat. Chat, are you going to continue playing Aion 2? Or are you interested in playing Aion 2 when it comes to the West? Kick chat is not saying anything, but for what it's worth, I do have them here. Yeah, see, I don't know. Here's one person, W, one person, right? But you see, this alienated the vast majority of the players that would even be remotely interested in Aion 2, right? And I said that this was going to happen, bro. Everybody said that was going to happen. But, I think that Canon and the rest of them were on cope that, hey, it could be good. Although, in fairness, I think that if you asked Cannon, hey, you think you're going to be streaming Aion 2 in the next year? I think that he would just go silent. I think that he would be like, what? What was that?
Aion
What was the question?
Copers, don't worry, Nah will keep your shit game alive. There is another shit game that is alive right now thanks to Nah, and they make 65% of the company's profits.
I don't think so, brother. This is different, bro. Black Desert Online. Blue Desert Online, that's crazy. Black Desert Online is actually a good game, you know? And they keep it up. Aion 2, just... This is out of the gate, bro. This is out of the gate. This would be like if BDO launched with a value pack that limited your PvP to 30 minutes and you could only access the marketplace if you had a value pack. Don't you think that that would have been kind of a disaster for BDO? Like, long term? This is a total mess, right? This is a total mess. Anyway, here's the video. I think this guy was based